Good evening, Mr. Huan.
Good evening, Bhante. Nice to see you.
Maybe. Right, let's start. Please say 3 times, everyone. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Good evening to everyone. Today too, I would like to wish everyone to have a very good spiritual evening, which helps you to progress in your Dhamma practice. And at the same time, may you gain a lot of wisdom to understand the life according to the way how it is. So there are 3 kinds of realities that all of you need to understand. Number 1, impermanence. Impermanence. If you understand impermanence, then you understand most part of your life, what's happening with you. Then after that, number 2, suffering. So you have to realize what's suffering and how it is happening. That is the second thing that you need to understand. And number 3, you have to understand the no-soulness. The no-soulness means anatta. Anatta means there is no I. So eternally there is no any I. Right? You have to understand that too. So from outside you might see a particular person, but when you go inside, you have to understand you can't actually see that person, right? So that is anatta, no soulness. So these are the main 3 things that you need to understand through this practice, right? So Vipassana meditators are on that path. So they are practicing ardently, and now you are practicing the 7th step of Vipassana meditation. So today I will introduce you the 8th step. So earlier Vipassana meditators, Anubhav can practice breathing meditation today too. So Vipassana meditators, they were observing the parts of the body from bottom to top. Now during this month, please observe the sensations. Please observe the sensations first, bottom to top, And then after that, top to bottom, both ways. You go up, right? Part by part, pitch by pitch. You start with the tip of the toes, and then lower feet, upper feet, then wrinkle. Then after that, lower leg. Then after that, knee. Then the thigh, right? Left thigh. Then left buttock. Then after that, you will observe the sensations in the same manner on your right leg. And then you will start observing the back of your back, part by part, pitch by pitch. So you have to categorize it into 3 parts, partition it into 3, and then observe accordingly. Whatever sensations pop up, observe and understand they are impermanent, changing, right? Then after that, observe the middle front part. That means start with the stomach, and then both parts of your heart, and then move forward, right? And then then start observing your left hand. Again, fingertips, and then after that, upper palm, lower palm, then wrist, right? Then after that, forearm, then elbow. Then after that, upper arm, then your left shoulder. Then you will follow the same practice, same way, with your right hand, right? Bottom to top, up to the shoulder. And then please observe the back part of your neck, then front part of your neck. Then after that, please start observing your chin, sensations on your chin. Then lower lip, upper lip, nose, left cheek, right cheek. Then after that, eyelids, eyes. Then after that, your forehead. Then move your attention to the back part of your head, right? Then after that, so both the ears, left ear, right ear. Then observe the whole back area of your head, and then observe the front area of your head, and then finally, so observe the top of your head, right? Part by part, pitch by pitch, very patient. Please keep on observing. Whatever the sensations that you encounter, please understand, realize, develop bhavanamaya panya, the experiential wisdom, not a wisdom which comes because of hearsay, right? Not because of just philosophical things. It should be a wisdom that comes through your own experience, right? So then observe parts from top to bottom. So you'll go, but at first you'll start from the bottom, then you'll move to the top. If you have time, then you'll go back to the bottom, right? Bottom to top, top to bottom, both ways, right? So please practice like that. Sana can sit here. Yeah. So please practice like that. Bottom to top, top to bottom. The new students, they are instructed to observe their breathing, general breathing. When the breath is coming in, right? When the breath is coming in, you are fully aware. Now, right now, my breath is coming in, right? When it is going out, you are fully aware that it is going out. If it is long, if it is short, let it be so, you will be fully aware, right? Then after that, please be aware whether the breath is gross or soft, long or short, accordingly, right? And then at the same time, the experience meditators who are practicing breathing meditation, they can observe it like this. So whether the breath is coming in and going out through my right nostril or the left nostril, you can do that too. But At the same time, so advanced meditators who are practicing breathing meditation, please keep on observe. If you are practicing the second step, please observe. Meanwhile, please observe the breath, touch of the breath within the triangular area. That means below the nostrils and above the upper lip, within that area. When the breath comes and touches, just stay limited to the focus of that particular area below the nostrils and above the upper lip. So that's how meditators of breathing meditation have to do, right? And so if you're practicing first step, so observe the breath all the way in. That means go with the breath, focus on the breath all the way inside, right? Inside the nostrils. And then you have to focus on the breath which is going inside the nostril. But who are practicing the second step, they have to observe on the limited area below the nostrils and above the upper lip, just the touch of the breath, right? Everything clear? Okay, good. So today, before we start, every day I will give everyone one advice for you to take, for you to practice during your day-to-day activities. Today too, I'm going to teach you about listening. So whatever the mindfulness that you develop, you must apply it into the day-to-day listening too, right? First, you have to understand what are things to listen and what are things that you should not listen. Right? There are two things. There are wholesome listenings, there are unwholesome listenings, right? And there are neutral listenings too. Somehow, mainly, we take these two. So, if something influences you to do bad, to do wrong actions, then you have to understand that's those are things that you should not listen. Improper, if you listen to them, you have to understand that's an improper listen, right? Then there are things that we need to know. That means whenever we listen to them, it calms down us. That listening calms down us. Then that listening empowers us. So acknowledges us. It develops our knowledge, right? So, and at the same time, it brings us peace. So such kind of list, and it influences us to do the right thing, the good thing, for the best of you and for the best of others. That's a good listening. So there are two kinds of listenings. Then whenever you listen to someone, so after choosing the listenings, then you have to pay your entire attention and you should understand what they actually say. Sometimes certain people might say something useful in a soft way. There are certain people who might say certain things with anger. Sometimes when mom instructs to Sana, if she is so much frustrated, she might scold it. It's hard to listen, but it's a useful thing to hear. Leaving the anger part, you have to listen to, you have to take the meaning. Okay? Some people say things with anger. That means rough ways. Some people say things with a neutral voice. They'll say, if you do it, do it. If you don't do it, don't do it. I don't care. Since I have to say, I'll say this. Right? There are three kinds of sayings, three kinds of voices that you hear. But what you when you listen, you have to mindfully listen. Not only that, you have to take the meaning. You have to take the meaning out. Whatever the useless things. So sometimes there may be people who are furious, who get easily angry. So they might have tempted to say certain kind of not nice words. But still, if they say something meaningful, listen. And let go of the words. Let go of the words which are not useful. And get the meaning. Even though if there is a meaning, very small meaning, take it. Right? And at the same time, you have to pay your entire attention, because you won't be able to understand the whole thing if you don't pay attention. Let me teach you a story, very small one. Once, so this is an old Indian story. So once there was a garden keeper. So he took care of the royal garden with one helper. Helper was foolish, so he is not a good listener, right? He is not a good listener. One day, so garden keeper, he had to go somewhere. So he asked his helper to come, and since he's so much experienced, he told his helper, I'm going to meet the king, because he asked me to come. So when I come back, it'll be 2 days. So I will come back in 2 days. So you have to take care of the whole garden very well. Especially you have to pay attention to the roots. Roots should be very well taken care of, right? So you have to pay attention, and you have to so put water, sprinkle water, and you have to take care of the trees well. If not, we have to die. You know the anger of the king, fury of the king. So the helper listened to it very well, and he said yes. So the garden keeper left. After 2 days, he came. Once again back to his residence, and then he saw that in the whole garden, the trees which were there, they are missing. All the trees that he planted, they are missing. Then the gardener asked the helper, what, not these, I can't say the exact thing that he said. So since I'm monk. So he said, oh helper, what did you do? You can apply according to your own language. So then he said, why sir, when you left 2 days ago, you told me to take care of the roots. Roots are inside the floor. So inside the earth. If they are inside the earth, how can I take care of the roots? So I pulled out all the trees and I took care of the roots very well. So then things happen like that when you don't listen properly. Right? Always listen very, very carefully when someone says something. Don't let go. Let go of all the unnecessary things which are inside those words, and always take the meaning. Mindfully take the meaning and adapt it into your life accordingly. Right? So hope you all of you do that. Right? This is a very important life lesson. Right? So with that lesson, we are going to start. So everyone, please keep your back straight, neck straight, head straight. Please keep your right palm on your left palm. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Take another deep breath. Let it go. Now please close your eyes. At first, I will pay our respect as usual to the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha out of gratitude. Then after that, we are going to start today's meditation together. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Namo tase bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhase. Itimiso bhagava arahang samma sambuddho vicacharane sampanno sugato lokavido anuttaro purisa dhamma sarati satta deva manussanam buddho bhagavati. Swakato bhagavata dhammo sanditiko akaliko ehi pasiko opanaiko pachatang veditamo vinyuhiti. Supanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Ujupanipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Nyaya patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Samichi patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho Yatidam chattari purisa yugani Atte purisa puggalam Ese bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo Dakshineyo anjali karaniyo Anuttarang punya khitang lokasati. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With a very calm mind, with a very quiet mind, with an alert, very attentive mind, with a balanced, equanimous mind, with a patient mind. Everyone, please start your meditation. If you are practicing the 8th step of Vipassana meditation, please keep doing so. If you are practicing the first step or the second step of breathing meditation, please keep doing so. Whatever the meditation practice that you do, may your meditation be very, very successful. Very, very successful. Everyone, please start your meditation right now. Now, everyone, please keep your eyes closed. But if you want, if your legs are hurting, you can relax your legs. If you want to direct them, if you want to straighten them, you can straighten them. Straighten legs either to the right side, right wall side, or the left wall side. But keep the eyes closed. Please keep the eyes closed. Now we are going to share our loving kindness first with yourself. May I be well. May I be happy. May I be peaceful. May I be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness first towards yourself. Now, please spread your loving kindness towards your dear parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. May my dear mother, may my dear father, may my dear teachers, relatives, and friends be well, be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards your parents, teachers, relatives, and friends. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards the neutral people. Those who are not our friends, those who are not our enemies, the neutral people, the people in the middle. May all the neutral people also be well. Be happy, be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards the neutral people. Now, let's spread our loving kindness towards the enemies. towards people that you have grudges, that you don't like. First, please forgive for the mistakes that they did. Then ask forgiveness for the mistakes that you did. Now, please spread your loving kindness. May my enemies also be well. May my enemies also be happy. May my enemies also be peaceful. May they be very peaceful. Please spread your loving kindness towards the enemies. Now, let's spread our sincere loving kindness towards all the beings, human beings, animals, fish, birds, and all the beings. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be very peaceful. Please spread your sincere loving kindness towards all the beings, all the beings. Bhavetu sabbe mangala rakantu sabbe devatam sabbe buddhanubhavi sabbe dhammanubhavi sabbe sanghanubhavi sada suti bhavantuti. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Now everyone, very calmly and quietly, with full peace inside mind, please open your eyes. Take a deep breath. Let it go. Take another deep breath. Let it go. Now please join your palms together and say 3 times, Sadhu, Sadhu, Sadhu. Dear Dhamma friends, Hope you had a good sitting session. And at the same time, I hope that all of you practice daily too. Can I say how many students could practice throughout the 7 days, morning and evening? Morning. Throughout the 7 days? So not morning and evening, at least once a day. Very nice, sad, very nice. There are at least 2. Okay, and not then. So all 7 days. Then around 6 or 5 days, right? Morning and evening. Then not morning and evening, once a day. Yeah, very nice, Mr. Pal. Then how about 3 or 4 days? Yeah, very nice. Yeah. So please make sure. Sana, how about you? Did you have a group sitting with mom? Not at all. Right. So but please do it, Sana. Right? At least 5 minutes. 5 minutes a day, morning and evening. Okay? Right. So meanwhile, so at least once a day. So one day. Right. Is there anyone? Anubha, how about you? And Mr. Ramgaru?
I usually do 3 or 4 days. And if there was a long break for me, I need to.
Oh, right. Okay. Right. Please start, both of you. Then Sana, you too. Then at the same time, there's another thing that you have to practice. Once a week, you have to find a day. Let it be Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday. Let it be any day, a convenient day. And during that day, you have to clean your room. How? At least the meditation room. You have to, so if you have to dust, you have to dust, right? Then if you have to, so use, so wipes, right? Wipes, we use wipes. And if you have to mop, I don't know what you have to do at that particular place, please clean, right? So you have to do that. So one day a week, let it be Monday or Sunday or Tuesday. It depends on your work schedule, right? So then please do that. That's additional, because cleanliness helps you to have a so calm mind. When all the things are everywhere, then what happens is you can't concentrate because everything is messy. For an advanced meditator, that's fine. So they even can meditate even so in the mid of Los Angeles street. So cars are going here, cars are going there, but they can still focus. But you are not like that. So you are still some are not very beginners, but still you are in the beginning stage. So better to keep the room where you practice meditation clean, right? So it helps you, cleanliness. And there is an adage too, right? Cleanliness is next to godliness. Not because of that, we do it because of meditation, right? So uh, so the Buddha, he asked the monks. So those days monks didn't have these kinds of temples, right? So forest monks, they only have small rooms. So when you leave that small room, we call it putti, right? So Buddha asked us, at least to find, if we can't find a sweeper, so you know the broom, I'm not talking about the broom, I'm talking about the sweeper that we make with coconut sticks, right? So if we can't find a broom sweeper, then Buddha asks us to pick several branches, and then he asks us to tie those branches, and then sweep before we leave the meditation. So that small kuti and the surround. Why? Because when the other monk comes, so that monk has a clarity of mind. So because of the cleanliness of that environment, that monk will be able to meditate well. If not, if that place is not clean, if it is a messy place, then it's hard. It's hard to concentrate, right? So cleanliness is very, very important. So pick one day and start clean. Next time I will ask you, what is the day about the day that you selected, right? Okay. So today we are going to discuss about the fourth perfection. So I told you about three kinds of perfections. Number one, dana, generosity, right? That is the first perfection that we need to practice. So that's where everything begins. That's why dana comes first, right? Let it be a material dana, giving material things, or so the dana that we do spiritual, loving kindness, compassion, all those things matter, right? All those things matter. So somehow practicing dana is the starting point, right? So even though you don't have a lot, you have to share what you have, right? At least with the small group of people that you associate, right? Then material things, immaterial things with everyone, even with the strangers. Then dana. Then number two, Mr. Bhanu. Second one, Shila. Very nice. Shila means moral quality. So morality. So that is the second perfection that we need to develop. So the third perfection, is sharing?
Letting go.
Letting go. Very nice. Nikkam. Right? Letting go. So that is the third one. So today we are going to learn about the fourth one, Panya. In Pali we call it Panya. That means wisdom. So to understand general things, we have the ability of understanding the things from their outer appearance. So when we see a book, we realize this is a book. Whenever we see, the other people, right? When we see Mr. Bhanu, we understand this is Mr. Bhanu. And when we see Dinesha, we understand, this is Dinesha, right? When we see Mr. Sriyansh, we understand, this is Sriyansh, like that, for an example. So that's also that ability is there inside. And then after that, we can recognize colors, right? We can recognize the differences of people and beings. So what is that? That's intelligence. But wisdom is beyond that. We should not misunderstand wisdom, intelligence as wisdom. So if you can count, you have the intelligence, but not wisdom. That means if you are a good mathematician, you have wisdom, you have intelligence, but not wisdom. Then what is wisdom? Wisdom means the ability to see things penetratingly. The ability to see things that you cannot see by eyes. Can you understand? So there is this phone. There is this phone, but intelligence is understanding that this is a phone. Wisdom is understanding that this is an object which is compiled, which is created, compiling many things too. It has a camera, it has a memory, and so many other things. So compiling all of them together, we have the phone. That's intelligence. Wisdom. And then, as I mentioned earlier too, understanding what is impermanent as impermanent, that is wisdom, right? It is not the wisdom, this wisdom. Okay, 10 years ago you met someone. So 10 years later, you meet somebody and you find out that person has changed. That's not impermanent. Can you understand? So that's evolution. Then you say, oh, you have become impermanent. No, that's evolution. That person has evolved. Impermanence means you are changing, the ability to understand that you are changing continuously. Understanding, the ability to understand that you are not permanent. The ability to understand that even though I call Bhante Chandima, there is no Bhante Chandima. Right? It's just a name. This phenomenon is continuously arising and passing. Intellectually, you can't see that. You have to have wisdom to see that. And then after that, suffering. To understand the suffering of beings, you have to have intelligence. So at once, so if you don't have wisdom, you don't understand every being is bound to pass away. Every being is bound to get sick, right? Every being is reaching their old age, right? Getting old. So these things you can't see through naked eyes. So you see the evolution, but you won't understand that if you don't have wisdom. You have to see those things penetrating. And understanding that this is a positive action, this is a negative action, this is good, this is bad, and this is a person who deserves the respect. This is a person who don't deserve the respect. And then after that, when I do this, this is the result, right? And then this thing occurred or happened. This thing has arisen because of these reasons. To understand all these, you need what? Wisdom. Right? So this is wisdom. So for all beings, wisdom is important. If not, you don't see. You won't be able to see the far, the thing which is bound to come in the distance. You will only see the things which is close by, right? So somebody can be intelligent But if that person doesn't have wisdom, then sometimes such kind of people might face unfortunate situations. For an example, um, in uh, in Los Angeles, one big Catholic school, there was a girl called. I'm talking about an incident which happened last day, right? There was a very smart girl. So her name was Melanie Ramos. Did I tell you about this incident? Right, Melanie Ramos. She can study very well, and she got a lot of credits in her school, and at the same time, she won many awards in that area. One day, what happened so there was a sports practice. Along with her, there were 5 other girls. So several girls, they were using drugs called fentanyl, right? So fentanyl, and then this so those girls who were using it, they that means friendlily they forced the other girls to take. All the other girls who 2-3 girls who didn't take it, they also took it. Do you know what happened? It has a fatal dose, and then all 6 of them, out of 6, 5 of them, Melanie Ramos ran to the bathroom. She was vomiting. All the other 4, after some time, they fell unconscious inside the school. One girl ran outside, and then she fell on the grass in the front. So in the front of that school. And then her stepfather, I'm talking about the girl who fell in the front yard of that school. So her stepfather, he was waiting until she comes. She was 10 minutes late. Right away, he went to the school and found her unconscious and took her to the hospital. And then found out, she told that there are 5 other, when she was conscious, regained consciousness, she said that there are 5 other girls inside. So they went inside and found out Melanie Ramos. The other girls, they recovered, but that brilliant student, Melanie Ramos, she passed on. So they only found a dead body. So that's how it is. So whenever something happens, we have to use our wisdom too. We have to see far, right? We have to see far. We have to develop the ability to see penetrating. If I do this, what will happen in the future? If you can do that, you develop wisdom. You develop wisdom. With every action, you should do that. So when it comes to the meditation practice, there are 3 kinds of wisdoms that you develop. So number 1, Sutta me panya. Sutta me panya means the wisdom that comes with hearsay, by listening to a teacher or by reading books. You learn about impermanence, right? But that knowledge, it is also good, but it is only you accept that because you have a great respect towards the teacher or towards the book, right? It was taught by the Buddha, so he's a great. So the Buddhists are great spiritual teacher, so we accept. Think it so. You accept that wisdom of hearsay, right? By that way, you develop the wisdom of hearsay, but it is not a perfect wisdom. Then what is the second kind of wisdom? Not only you listen, you start to think deeply. You start to think deeply, right? When you think deeply, for an example, impermanence, when you think deeply, you realize, oh, so always uh, when you heard the right facts, when you think through those right facts, you realize, oh, that's true. Actually, I am changing. So I am impermanent. And my whole body and mind, both are changing very fast. There is no any eternal life. There is nothing that I can call in the real sense, according to the real truth. There is nothing that I can call as I, my, or mine. So you realize. But still, it is not the perfect wisdom, right? And perfect wisdom is bhavanami panya, third wisdom, experiential wisdom. That's what you are gaining through vipassana meditation. So when you practice vipassana, you not only from books you realize anymore, not only because of your deep thinking you realize it, through your own experience you realize it, right? Then you develop the ultimate wisdom with it. What is that wisdom? Experiential wisdom. Bhavanami panya. Let me give you an example. So one day, all the meditators and for sure myself, all of us go to Krungthai. Do you know Krungthai? You don't know Krungthai? Oh, that's one of the famous restaurants in Bay Area, which is situated close by to the temple. Very expensive. You have to pay a lot because I am not supposed to pay. All of you have to pay. Yeah, sorry. So, right, somehow. So all of us go. Let's say you go to the Thai restaurant, and let's say that is the first. Have you ever gone to a Thai restaurant? Then hands up. Oh, a lot. Oh, there are so many. Then somehow, let's assume, Tana haven't gone to Thai restaurant. Okay. Right. So somehow, just kidding. Then when you go there, you don't know anything about, let's assume you don't know anything about Thai food. So they bring that heavy, big, big book. So with all kinds of recipes and then recipes, and then they give you. Then you don't know, and you check, and there is chow mein, and then so papaya salad, and then after that, what else? There are so many. There are so many. Yeah. So eggplant, so tofu curry, green curry, red curry. There are so many names, but you have never heard of this and never eat. Then what you do is you pick some. So most of you are from Indian and Sri Lankan background, so you can't eat rice without curry. So you find some kind of curry there. And then, okay, green curry. But I have never tasted this. So what you do is, you look around. And when you look around, you see someone who is eating green curry. And that person eats the green curry with a lot of happiness. Or when that person eats that green curry, you see, whenever that person eats, that person's eyes become huge. And that person's face color changes. And you assume, for sure, this green curry, it's a very tasty one. Right? Then you finally select white rice or yellow rice. So you select and then the curry. And now you let the waiter to go. And you wait until the waiter comes back. And then after that, right, first you observe the menu and thought green curry is right. And then you observed outside, somebody is enjoying green curry. And then now you look around and saliva is coming inside, saliva is so sprouting out. So whenever you see a green curry and you can't wait until you eat it. And finally, after maybe 10 minutes, the waiter brings the green curry. And now you eat it with white rice or yellow rice or according. If you have diabetics, you eat with so not with white rice, brown rice. Okay. So somehow, just kidding. Then when you eat again, your eyes also go big. Your face color also, you feel change, and you taste it, and you feel that great taste of green curry, and you tell yourself, "Oh, why didn't I come to a Thai restaurant earlier? This green curry is very, very tasty. Very, very tasty. Why didn't I come to enjoy a green curry to a Thai restaurant?" So you eat and you enjoy. Watching at the menu is just like Sutame Panya, wisdom of hearsay. You didn't understood, but just by outside description, you thought it's right. It's good. Then Chintame Panya. So watching outside, observing outside and seeing that the other people enjoy, thinking and assuming that green curry is great and tasty, that is really similar to the second kind of wisdom, Chintame Panya, the philosophical wisdom, the wisdom that you gain by deep thinking. But still, you actually don't know the taste of green curry. Whenever you eat, you realize for sure you have no doubts. You have no doubts that green curry is so good. So that is similar to the third kind of wisdom, Bhavane me Panya. What is that? Experiential wisdom. So Dhamma, you realize like that. First you hear about Dana. And when I describe, you understand, oh, it's a nice thing, I should practice. But Anand, you have to practice it, right? And feel it, moral quality. You hear about the description and you think that's a great thing. But until you yourself practice, so purpose is not served. Then letting go. You can hear about letting go. So you can listen to thousands of lectures of letting go. But if you still keep on holding, purpose is not served. Then you have to practice. So that happens because of wisdom. You have to direct your wisdom. You have to train yourself. It is not a birthright. You have to develop this. So you have to develop wisdom. You have to let your wisdom to develop in these three ways. First, by hearing and listening, and then thinking about them, and then after that, practicing it. Right? These are three ways of practicing wisdom. Three kinds of wisdom. So there are several things which are useful, which will help for which will help which will be helpful to develop wisdom. Since we don't have a lot of time, I will go fast. Later on, you can go to YouTube and watch the video and write down. If you have the books, write down and share the notes. Okay. So number one, you have to have past positive energy too, right? Then number two, someone has to have a good brain, the faculties that can correctly help the mind to think deeply, right? So That's one thing. And then you have to have a good health. So you have to maintain a good health. If not, you can't think deeply too, right? And then so you should direct your mind. So focus on various kinds of things. You have to focus on various things, not only things related to Dhamma, things related to your job, and various other things that you want to know, right? Good things. And then, after compiling those knowledges of Dharma and Shastra, Dharma means Dharma knowledge about Dharma, and Shastra means the other knowledges. So we have to think about it again and again, right? So that's another one. And then whenever you do your jobs, you do your day-to-day activities, at such times, the ability to think far. You have developed the ability to think far. If I do this, what will happen? If I do this, what will happen? You have to think far. And then after that, so sharing your knowledge with the other people, right? Then after that, so associating the knowledgeable people. Associating the knowledgeable people. And then discussing with knowledgeable people, right? And then after that, so staying away from foolish people, right? That means whenever you understand somebody is foolish, so it doesn't mean you don't associate that person at all. No, I taught you earlier too. Whenever you have to do something, help about anything, you help. But you don't associate that person as a close friend. You keep that person at the hands length. So then developing concentration. And then after that, keeping the places clean. Your home, your workplace, so the area that you can control, you keep those places clean. So, and having good food, nutritious food. So these things help you to develop wisdom, right? So then what are the things so that obstructs wisdom? Number one, addiction to sensual desire, sensual pleasure. That obstructs the wisdom. A strong aversion, that obstructs wisdom. I taught you what is aversion. Can you remember? Aversion has many faces. Not only anger, it has fear, discrimination. What else? Jealousy. What else? Ill will, right? Like that. So there are so many faces, but even though it has many faces, what comes out is aversion, right? Then after aversion, so laziness. If you have laziness, that will also obstruct your wisdom. You think to a certain level and then you think, oh, this is enough. So I'm too tired. Let me sleep and think later on. Then sometimes you might get an opportunity to think about that later on. You might not. Who knows? So you have to understand what comes is laziness. Laziness obstructs. No, I don't know whether I'll die tomorrow. Let me think right now. Thinking like that, you keep going, right? So then laziness. Then fourth one is wandering mind. So if you think you are too smart and you can focus so many things, so then again you go in the wrong direction. So you will So you'll try your best, but you won't be able to excel in multiple things if you don't focus well. So at one time, you have to focus on one thing, right? So you have to develop that. You have to do that too. If not, mind will bond that, and you won't be able to focus well, and then you won't be able to understand the things very well. So develop the focus, one pointed focus, right? And then stop the wandering mind. And fifth one, doubt, right? So doubt is the fifth one, which obstructs your wisdom. So doubt helps, but unnecessary doubt, right? Unnecessary doubt. Unnecessary doubt obstructs with the growth of wisdom. So that is the fifth one. So and at the same time, there are so many other things. I don't think I have enough time. And right. Then in Vipassana, you develop the experiential wisdom. So there are several ways that you develop it. At first, you started developing it by observing the arising and passing away of sensation. So whenever you start observing the sensations, you develop the first kind of wisdom, vipassana wisdom, which is called as sammasana jnana, the ability to feel the sensation, right? Then number two, I think some of you have the number two, second kind of vipassana wisdom too. What is that? Udayabbayana passana jnana. That means when they arise and pass away, you realize a sensation has arisen and it has passed on, and a new one has arisen now, right? So like that, whenever you realize throughout the whole body, this is the nature, sensation arise and pass away. So this is the second kind of wisdom. But there are so many other wisdoms, experiential wisdoms to develop. When you go deeper, you develop the nature of bhanga. Bhanga means this whole body from top to bottom, bottom to top, you will only feel vibrations. This outer picture dissolves and you will only see the dissolved body of vibrations. So I can't, so I will say this in words, but it's a deep experience, right? So just like you take an ice cube and you put it, then you put it in the sun. Then ice cube is gone. Now you only have the water. Similarly, right? Then after that, bhayatu pattana jnana. Then you realize, oh, I'm changing continuously. So and anytime there are so many reasons that I may pass on, and I'm a person who is continuously changing person, nature. So they understand that, and they develop certain fears too. So it helps the meditator to go on fast, right? Then the meditators start to develop the other wisdom. What is that? Understanding that if you cling on to things as I, my, or mine, right, with misunderstanding, what are the consequences that I have to face? All kinds of negativities have arisen because of that misunderstanding, because you don't know the impermanence. So you realize that, and then that's another wisdom that you develop. Then you develop another wisdom within, experientially. I have to let all these negativities go. I have to work hard to attain the eternal peace. I have to attain the eternal peace. Other than that, everywhere I will have only suffering. Right? Then that person starts to practice. And like that, until to the wisdom of realizing the truth of things within. So that is the last wisdom. So the meditator keeps on practicing. You have started realizing the first point, and you have started realizing the second one too. But there is long way to go. Very patiently, you have to understand meditation is not just like quick noodles. You can't do it just like having some hot water and keeping Maggi noodles inside, and within 5 minutes you take it out and eat. This is not the way, right? So it's not like the process of quick noodles. You have to practice patiently, developing your knowledge, sutame panya, hearsay knowledge, hearsay wisdom, and then thinking deeply, developing the philosophical wisdom, and then at the same time practicing and having the experiential wisdom. At the end, I wish that may all of you attain real peace, real happiness, Nibbana, the ultimate result of experiential wisdom. So keep practicing. Now, everyone, please concentrate. By the power of all the good energy that we accumulated by practicing this noble non-sectarian meditation technique, please think, may all our troubles be away. May all good things happen to us. Practicing Dhamma path continuously. May all of us attain real peace, Nibbana. Please join your palms together and concentrate. Abhivadana Selise Nichang Vada Pachainu Chattaro Dhamma Vadanti Ayuvangno Sukhang Balang Ayuradogya Sampatti Sagga Sampatti Me Vache Ato Nibbana Sampatti Iminate Samijjato. May you all be well. May you all be happy. May you all be very peaceful. Sukhi hotu. Good night to everyone. See you on next Friday. Sukhi hotu. Sukhi. Right. Good night, Mrs. Dan.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you so much. Thank you.
May you be happy. Good night, Mr. Howard.
Good night to you, Bhante. Thank you.
May you be happy. Good night, Christian.
Thank you, Bhante. Have a good
May
night.
you be happy. Good night, Mrs. Lace.
Good night. Thank you, Bhante.
May you be happy. Good night, Mrs. Meena.
Good night, Bhante. Thank you so much.
Okay, Ohio.